America saw a big change on Friday, September 19, 2025. President Donald Trump made a new and surprising rule for foreign workers. This rule added a very large fee of $100,000 for a special work visa. This fee must be paid every year by workers applying for the H-1B visa. The H-1B visa is for skilled people who want to work in the United States. In the past, the cost for this visa was much lower, so this was a huge increase. This announcement created surprise and concern across the country. Many businesses, especially those in the technology industry, felt worried. Areas like Silicon Valley rely on these visas to bring in talented individuals from other nations. These workers fill jobs that require special skills, helping American companies grow and innovate. The new fee makes it much harder for skilled foreign workers to come to the U.S. Some people have even started to call it a luxury work permit because of its high price. This change has started a big discussion about immigration and jobs in America. People are asking how this rule will affect the country's economy, its leading technology companies, and its place in the world for innovation. This new rule is one of the most important changes to the work visa program since it began in 1990. 2. The old visa rules. The H-1B visa was a very important program in the United States. It allowed skilled workers from other countries to come and work in specialized jobs. These jobs required high-level knowledge and often a university degree. The program started in 1990. It was created to help American businesses find talented people to fill critical positions. Many companies said they could not find enough American workers with the specific skills needed, especially in fast-growing areas like technology. Before recent changes, the H-1B program had a strict limit. Each year, only 85,000 new H-1B visas were given out. 65,000 of these visas were for general applicants. The other 20,000 were for foreign students who had earned advanced degrees from U.S. universities. However, there was always a very high demand for these visas. It was common to see over 300,000 applications submitted for these limited spots. Because the demand was so much greater than the supply, the government used a lottery system. This meant that the successful visa applications were chosen randomly, making it very competitive and based on luck. Many large technology companies relied heavily on the H-1B program. For example, companies like Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, and Apple often received thousands of these visas each year. They used these visas to hire expert workers for their teams. Other companies, such as Infosys, an Indian IT consulting firm, also secured many thousands of approvals. The visa program was most used by workers from certain countries. About 71% of all H-1B visas went to individuals from India. China was the second largest group, accounting for about 11.7% of visa holders. These figures clearly showed the program's vital role in bringing global talent to support America's economy and its technology industry. 3. The new big fee. President Donald Trump signed a new rule. This rule put a big $100,000 fee on H-1B work visas. He signed the paper on Friday, September 19, 2025. The new rule started just 2 days later, on Sunday, September 21. This was a very fast change and surprised many people. This $100,000 fee is not a one-time payment. Companies must pay this amount every year for each worker with an H-1B visa. A visa can last up to 6 years. This means one worker could cost an employer $600,000 over the full visa period. This yearly cost makes the visa much more expensive than before. It is a very large sum of money for any business. The new fee affects many people. It applies to new workers who want to come to the United States for the first time. It also affects workers who already have an H-1B visa but are currently outside the country. Even if their visa was approved earlier, they must pay the fee to come back in. This caused a lot of worry. For example, large companies like Microsoft told their H-1B employees to come back to the United States quickly. They needed to return before the new fee started and made their return very difficult or impossible. The government said this new fee has 2 main goals. First, it will bring a lot of money to the U.S. Treasury. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick said the fee could raise over $100 billion. This money would help the country and reduce national debt. Second, the government wants to protect American workers and their salaries. They believe the fee will stop companies from using foreign workers to pay lower wages. President Trump's administration thinks the old visa program allowed some foreign workers to accept below-average salaries. They say this new fee will filter out those workers. Instead, it will ensure only high-skilled, high-paid workers come to the country, helping to keep salaries high for American citizens in similar jobs. 4. Money and jobs. The new $100,000 fee for H-1B visas changed things for many businesses. Big technology companies like Amazon and Google have a lot of money. They might be able to pay this new fee. For example, if Amazon had to pay for its H-1B workers in 1 year, it could be almost $1 billion. This is a lot, but these big companies might still manage. They have the financial strength to handle such large costs. However, small, new companies called startups will have a harder time. Startups often do not have a lot of money. If a small company needs 10 H-1B workers, the new fee would cost them $1 million each year. This is a very big expense for a startup. It could mean they cannot hire the skilled workers they need to grow. This might also mean that big companies get more power. They can pay for the best workers, but small companies cannot compete. There is another big concern. Companies might move their jobs to other countries. If it is too hard or too expensive to hire skilled workers in the United States, companies may look for workers elsewhere. For example, some companies like Microsoft have already set up offices in places like Vancouver, Canada, because it is easier to hire skilled workers there. Canada is actively trying to attract talented people, and this new fee might help them do that. This could mean fewer jobs stay in the U.S. People also talk a lot about whether H-1B workers are good for the U.S. economy. Some people believe these workers help the economy grow. They say H-1B visa holders can lead to lower unemployment rates for American college graduates. They also say it helps young American graduates find jobs related to their studies. So, these foreign workers do not always take jobs from Americans. Sometimes they create more jobs or help the economy in other ways. But other people think that H-1B workers can take jobs from Americans. They say that in some areas, like computer science, H-1B workers might lower wages for American workers or make it harder for them to find jobs. For example, one study found that H-1B immigration in the past lowered wages for American computer scientists by a small amount and reduced employment a bit. However, it also helped consumers by making technology products cheaper. Some companies, especially large Indian IT companies, use many H-1B visas. Some people say these companies sometimes pay H-1B workers less than American workers. The new fee might make it harder for these companies to do business as before. The debate continues about the real effect of these workers on jobs and money in America. President Donald Trump's administration believes the fee will protect American workers' salaries. This new fee is changing how companies think about hiring and where they do their work. It is a big question for America's future economy and job market. 5. A new idea for the rich. President Donald Trump announced a new plan. It was called the Trump Gold Card. This new program was for very rich people. They could pay $1 million to get a green card much faster. This was a special way to get U.S. residency. People also had to pay an extra $15,000 for processing. This Gold Card program was very different from the new H-1B visa rules. For skilled workers, getting an H-1B visa had become very hard and expensive, costing $100,000 each year. But for the rich, getting a green card became very easy. This created two separate systems for entering the United States. One system was based on how much money a person had. The other system, for skilled workers, was based on a person's professional abilities and work. Many people saw the Gold Card as a way for the wealthy to buy permanent residency. The government, however, said it was a gift to the country. They explained it showed that wealthy people could bring great financial value to the U.S. Still, critics believed it was like selling important immigration status. There was also a more exclusive Platinum Card option. For $5 million, people could get this card. It let them stay in the U.S. for up to 270 days each year. With this card, they would not pay U.S. taxes on money earned outside the country. This tax benefit made the Platinum Card very attractive for super rich people looking for financial advantages. This new idea started a big national discussion. Should American visas be given primarily based on a person's skills and what they can do for the economy, or should they be based on how much money someone can pay? Many citizens wondered if the U.S. was becoming a place where wealth was more important than talent for immigration. This policy clearly showed a large difference between how rich and non-rich immigrants were treated. It raised many questions about fairness in the immigration system. 6. Problems in court. Lawyers quickly challenged the new $100,000 fee in court. They said the fee was not legal. A main argument was that President Donald Trump did not have the power to create such a large fee by himself. They believed that only Congress should make such big changes to immigration laws. They pointed to the Immigration and Nationality Act. This law lets the president stop people from entering the U.S. if it's bad for the country's interest. However, lawyers argued that using this law to make such a high fee for economic reasons was not correct. They believed the president went beyond his powers. Legal experts noted that government fees usually cover only the cost of processing applications. For example, old visa fees were much lower, often only a few $1,000s. This new fee was too high for what federal law allowed. Attorney Becky Fu Von Trapp called the fee excessive. She said there was little history of such a large fee coming from a president's order, not from a proper lawmaking process. Another attorney, Shev Dalal Dehini, said the new system felt like a ransom demand. It seemed to change the visa system from being about a person's skills to being about how much money they could pay. This was a big worry for many. There were also problems with how the new rule was started. Usually, big changes in policy need a public review period. This is a time when people and groups can share their thoughts and concerns. But for this fee, there was no such time. The rule began very fast, just 3 days after it was announced. This quick start made it very hard for businesses and workers to prepare. It caused much confusion and stress. Many legal experts said this quick action broke normal government rules for making new policies. Experts like Aaron Reichlin-Melnick from the American Immigration Council said the new fee was very likely illegal. They thought courts would stop it. They explained that Congress had only given the government power to set fees to cover application costs. It did not give power to set fees just to limit who could get a visa because of the price. Many people expected the courts to agree with these strong arguments. They hoped the courts would tell the government to change this new rule, bringing back fairness to the visa process. 7. America and the world. The new $100,000 fee for H-1B visas created concern far beyond America's borders. Many international students who come to study in U.S. universities began to worry about their future. For a long time, these students saw the H-1B visa as a key step after graduation. It was their main path to finding jobs and gaining work experience in the United States. Now, this path seemed much harder and more expensive, even impossible for some who wished to stay and contribute. This concern is very important because international students play a significant role in American higher education and research. They often pay full tuition, which helps fund universities. They also fill crucial roles in graduate research programs that drive new ideas and technological advances. In the academic year 2022 to 2023, foreign students added about $44 billion to the U.S. economy. A decline in international student enrollment could not only hurt university finances, but also slow down important research and innovation. Many of these talented individuals eventually become workers and even start their own successful businesses, creating jobs for American citizens. However, if the H-1B pathway becomes too costly, this entrepreneurial talent might be redirected to other countries with more welcoming immigration systems. The new policy could also affect how America gets along with important partner countries. India is a key ally and accounts for a very large share of H-1B visa beneficiaries, around 71%. The United States and India maintain strong economic and strategic partnerships across many areas. This significant fee increase could strain these valuable relationships and even give other countries, like China, an opportunity to attract skilled Indian talent to their own technology sectors. While America's doors seem to be closing for skilled workers, other nations are actively opening theirs. Countries like Canada, Australia, and several European nations have created more welcoming immigration policies. They specifically design these policies to attract the kind of talent America has historically drawn through programs like the H-1B visa. Canada, in particular, has seen a benefit from past U.S. immigration changes. When the U.S. placed restrictions on skilled immigration in 2017, Canada saw a 30% increase in visa applications from people looking to move there in 2018. Canadian companies that welcomed these workers then increased their production, exports, and hired more Canadian citizens. This shows how restrictive immigration policies in one country can create competitive advantages for others. For instance, a major company like Microsoft chose to establish a research and development facility in Vancouver, Canada, partly due to earlier U.S. visa limits. The current high fee might lead to more companies moving jobs or opening new offices outside the U.S. This shift could mean that America loses both talented workers and the innovative businesses they create to other countries. The world is watching to see if America will still be considered the top place for global talent, or if its new policies will push that talent elsewhere. 8. What happens next? The recent changes to immigration rules mark a very important moment for the United States. President Donald Trump's new $100,000 fee for the H-1B work visa has changed the game for many skilled workers. At the same time, the Trump Gold Card, which costs $1 million, creates a different path for very rich people to live in the country. These actions show a big shift in America's way of letting new people in. This decision means America is at a crossroads. The country must now decide if it wants to keep attracting the best and brightest people from around the globe. For many years, the U.S. has been a top place for talented individuals to come and work, especially in technology. Now, with the new high fees, it might become harder for these skilled workers to choose America. The long-term effects of these changes are not yet fully known, but they will be very important. Experts wonder how they will affect technology companies and new inventions. Will big companies still find the talent they need to grow? Will smaller startup companies be able to afford the fees for skilled workers? There is a risk that some jobs might move to other countries if it is too hard or too costly to hire talent in the U.S. Countries like Canada are already ready to welcome these workers. America's place in the world for innovation and economic power could change a lot. The future of technology and jobs here depends on what happens next. This story truly shows America standing at a very important point in its history, making choices that will last for many generations. Do you think this new visa fee will help American workers or hurt the country's technology industry?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.